Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Pastor Bruce. Welcome to amvoice.net, One Man's Voice. Today, I want to talk to you about the big story. Now, this is seriously big. The queen of the Democratic Party, the future of the Democratic Party, the look of the Democratic Party, Alexandra Cortez. Oh, she's something else, isn't she? She is great. Listen to her voice. Unemployment is down because people have two jobs. That's why unemployment is down. How ignorant are you, Cortez? How ignorant are you? This is a child talking, okay? A child is someone who has no knowledge of what they're talking about, but they spout out garbage anyway. Okay, we call it talking out the other end of the body. But how about the Middle East? Well, she has no clue about the Middle East, but she's saying that it's Israel's fault, but she doesn't know what's going on over there. And how many other gaffes has she made going out there in public? This 28-year-old, supposedly college-educated student is thinking that she is intelligent enough to dictate or to control or to make decisions for the American people. She admits to being a socialist. Now, understand this, people. Socialism means, socialism means the government controls everything and gives it out to the people. That means when you're sitting there saying free healthcare, free college education, free housing, somebody's got to pay for it, because if you don't open your ears and understand this, nothing is free except for walking through the woods, eating berries and other plant life that is good for you, drinking from streams, but you don't have the luxuries of what we have today. That's free stuff, unless you have to pay to get into the park to do it. Then it's not free. So understand, except for living with nature, nothing is free. So between her and this clown that ran for presidency, Bernie Sanders, spouting out free, 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 they have come up with a price tag over the next 10 years of $31 trillion. Where are they going to get $31 trillion? Because you see, understand this. If we go back to the Democratic way, we're going to lose our jobs because they're going to raise taxes on corporations again, and corporations are going to move out of the country. So there are going to be more people on unemployment. And with more people on unemployment and they can't find a job, eventually when unemployment runs out, what do they get? Welfare. So our welfare rolls are going to go up. Our food stamp rolls are going to go up. They're going to open the borders to allow illegals to come into this country, and they're going to give them food stamps, and that's going to go up. $31 trillion? No, ladies and gentlemen, that might be in 5 years. But how are they going to pay for this? That's the question. How are they going to pay for it? Well, for those that are left in the workforce, they're going to tax them at about 70% tax rate. And you think getting this money back at the end of the year is going to work? No, it's not. And the rich, they're going to hit the rich up because everybody pays except for the government. And the government will make their $107,000 each. The president will make his $400,000. The Speaker of the House will they're making a little over $107,000. So understand this. There's no way to pay for it. Plus pay for everything else that's out there that we're trying to do. The military. Oh, well, we'll get rid of the military. Well, great. No military. You got Russia that is hungry to take over America. And if they're that hungry to take over America, once we lose our military, here comes the Russians. They're going to walk right in and take us over. Or the Chinese might walk in and take us over because we have nobody to defend ourselves. This is Cortez's decisions. Now, I bring all this up because in a recent article, Ben Shapiro, who is a conservative, wants to debate Cortez. Shapiro even said, I'll give you $10,000 towards your campaign or towards your charity, whatever you want, to debate me. And she refuses the debate. Why? Because the queen of the Democratic Party, the future of the Democratic Party, is ignorant. She has no clue. And she knows when she gets out there and they start asking questions, she's not going to have the answers. And she's going to look foolish. She's going to look stupid and ignorant and dumb. And she doesn't want to do that. So she's putting it back on Ben Shapiro. Okay? She said that she's not going to be baited into this. There's no bait. Have a debate. That's all there is to it. What are you afraid of, Cortez? I know what you're afraid of. To show your ignorance because you've already shown it already. She has no clue, but that's the socialists. They don't care. They're not smart. They're not intelligent. They don't know. And here's the other thing. She hates the capitalist system. She hates the democratic republic that we live in. That's why she's a socialist. But ladies and gentlemen, she's a socialist that grew up in a democratic republic with capitalism. It was the capitalism that was able to give her father and mother the positions that they're in, to give them the money to be able to pay for her to be raised up to the age of 18, to give her the money to be able to go to college. Now, she touts that she grew up in a poor neighborhood. But ladies and gentlemen, that's only because you don't know about Westchester County, where she grew up. Westchester County for years has been the #1 property tax county in the United States. That means more money is coming out of people's pockets in Westchester County towards property tax than any other. That's not a poor community, people. And we're talking, I was living in Rockland County, which is across the river, Hudson River, from Westchester County. We were at $10,000 to $13,000 for taxes for our property and school tax. And if we were, at the time I was there, we were 5th. And Westchester County was first. How much more? Because Westchester County is where the rich people live. Okay? And they have the better schools than they do down in the Bronx and in Brooklyn where she ran. And then she went off to college. What was it, Boston College? That's not a cheap college. Here's a socialist. Here's someone who has been brainwashed to believe socialism is better, and she declares herself a socialist, living in a democratic republic, thinking that the democratic republic is bad. Okay? How can it be bad if it gave you everything that you wanted? You have the opportunity to become part of the government of the democratic republic, to help the injustice of the American people, not to change the political system from democratic republic to socialism, but to help the people. Shapiro wants to give her $10,000. She's refusing the debate because she knows that she's not smart enough. She knows that she doesn't have the ability to debate properly. But she's going to go out there in speech after speech after speech and promote everything that's bad for this country. Again, I say, nothing is free unless you live in the woods and you eat the berries and the plants that are out there in the wilderness, and you drink the water that's in the streams, and you kill the animals for meat. Nothing is free. And if you want to pay 70% in taxes out of your income, then vote for Ortez. Vote for the socialist system. If you want to be guaranteed a job when there are no jobs, look at today. We are at a 3.8 unemployment rate, and we have more jobs in this country than we do people to work them. President Trump has worked with corporations to start a training program to help people learn how to do their jobs. I was talking to one of my neighbors the other day. It's not a lot, people, I understand this. He got a 13-cent pay raise. But for 8 years, he didn't have any pay raises. Now all of a sudden, he's got 13 cents. It's okay. Something is better than nothing. Okay? Plain and simple. Something is better than nothing. And he's taking it. But at least under President Trump, he got a pay raise. Not a lot, but he got a pay raise. When you move the socialist government in, the socialists or the Democrats, I don't care what anybody says. They're not Democrats. They're social Democrats. They believe in socialism. They believe that socialism should run this country. They've been fighting for it for years. And when they take over, they're going to run it as socialism. What's going to happen? They're going to impeach Trump. Second, they're going to raise our taxes again. Okay? To the point where they're going to say, all right, you have free medical, you have free schooling, you have free this, free that, whatever. So they're going to raise our taxes to pay for it. Now, here's another ignorant millennial. When on one of these talk shows, they brought the mic out. They say, how are we going to pay for this? And the young lady said, well, they're going to raise our taxes, and then the federal government is going to pay for the rest of it. What? Well, the federal government doesn't have any money. They get it from us. That's how ignorant that statement was. So they're really going to have to raise taxes on us in order to pay for it. And the rich are going to be destroyed. Now, Cortez says the middle class is gone. She's ignorant. The middle class isn't gone. It's still there. It's fighting to hold on. The upper middle class is fighting to hold on. And once we get rid of socialism and these individuals who believe in socialism and communism and totalitarianism and fascism, and we stick to the democratic republic in our country with the capitalist system, our middle class is going to grow again. And when we get rid of the social democrats in our government who all they want to do is spend, 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 we're going to get a better system. But not if we allow people like Cortez and Bernie Sanders to continue this rhetoric that they're putting out there. We have to stop them, and the best way to stop them is to get them out of office. And don't put Cortez into office. She needs to learn. Let her move to Venezuela, or let her move to Cuba, or let her move to one of the other socialist countries that are out there and see what it's like to live under socialism and see if that's what she truly wants to do. And then I'll say to her, Miss Cortez, since you think you're so intelligent, answer me this question. Why isn't it that socialists in this country, or anybody in this country, why aren't they fleeing this country to other nations? When socialists in other nations are fleeing their countries to come here for a better life. Answer me that. You can't, because socialism doesn't work. And we are better than the rest of the countries. Not because we chose to. Well, actually, not because we did choose. We chose a capitalist system. We chose a democratic republic almost 250 years ago, and we have strived to make it the best. Have we faltered? Yes, we have. Have we tried to make changes? Yes, we have. Have we made changes? Yes, we have. Which brings me to the next topic. These clowns that are in football uniforms running around making hundreds of thousands of dollars to play football are taking a knee once again to protest the fact of injustice in this country. Well, that's fine. If that's what they want to do, let them do it. But for everyone that's taking a knee, I want to ask them how much money of your $100,000 or $200,000 or $300,000 or $400,000 that you make per season, how much of that have you given to the inner cities to make the inner cities better? How many of you are out there walking into the streets, talking to people, telling them to let go of their guns and to stop the violence? How many of you are out there on food lines, feeding the hungry, and bringing clothes and blankets to the homeless so that they can keep warm in the wintertime? How many of you are doing that? But you're willing to take a knee to say there's injustice in this country, but you're not willing to flip a penny out of your pocket to help them. What are you doing? You're only creating the division in this country that the Social Democrats in Congress want you to do. And you've succeeded, thanks to Colin Kaepernick. You see, NFL understands. He is a decisive individual, or divisive, individual. They don't want him on their teams, plain and simple. And you can't force a team owner to take somebody they don't want. So they're suing the NFL because they think he's been blackballed. He blackballed himself when he did what he did. Now, this is the ignorance and the stupidity of the Democrats that are out there. They will protest everything under the sun. They will show you all of the problems in this country. They will scream and they will shout about the problems in this country. But when it comes to fixing it, they want nothing to do with it. And we see that. Under Obama, he wanted the Dreamer Plan. Did the Democrats create a Dreamer Plan and a law for the Dreamers? No. They created a costly health care plan, which if you went in and read it, even the first couple of pages, you'll see it's tax upon tax upon tax upon tax. It was a scheme to collect taxes. That's all it was. So here, raise taxes, don't give anything back to the people. Obama said the best we can do is 1.5% GDP growth. Under him, yes, that's the best that they could do. Where's the injustice? Because with a 1.5 GDP growth, with the high rate of 10% unemployment under Obama, at one time it was 10%. He got it with 5%. It went up to 10%, and then it started to come down. More people were back to work at low-income jobs. That's why the unemployment rate was going down. They were low-income jobs. And so now he's touting, well, look at the recovery's on its way. No, it isn't. You see, when you create nothing but low-income jobs, or you tell corporations, and that's another, him and Hillary were sitting there saying, it's the government that creates the jobs. No, it isn't. It's the entrepreneurs in this country that have an idea, they have a dream, they have a vision, and they go out and they create a business, and that business hires people. That's how business works. The government doesn't create anything. The government sucks us dry with taxes. And it's redistribution of wealth. When somebody can go out there and make $100,000 in taxes, pay 22%, and someone that goes out there and pays only 10% in taxes gets $6,000 child credit. That's redistribution of wealth, people. That's all that is. And that's the system that we have today. Now, two countries have this pay people program. I forget what the heck it's called. Switzerland, I believe, was one of them. They're doing away with it. They cannot afford it. Yet San Francisco is going to do it. So watch. Watch San Francisco. Watch California fall. And I think the president would be ignorant if he did not sit there and say, you're on your own. You can remain part of this country. You don't have to separate. But just like if you were to separate, we will not accept your vote into the general elections. You can elect anybody, do whatever you want in your state, but when it comes to the general, you can't. We're not going to accept your votes. And we're going to pull military bases out of there because there's like 10 military bases. We don't need 10 military bases in California. We're going to pull them out. You want a training center for the Marines? Bring them back to Arizona, where it's 115 at times. And show them, start pulling money out. Start where they're leasing property from the state in order to have military bases. And for those states that have, or those bases like Vandenberg, which is owned by the federal government, they don't have to pay anything at all. And even if that, I mean, there are a lot of jobs where they're making, civilians are making 70, 80, 90, if not more. You want to pull that out? send Boeing back up to another state, pull it all out. Do you know how much money the state of California, and we're going to treat you just like an independent country. We're not going to give you money to help for your disasters. You're on your own. That's what you want. And we'll show the state of California they cannot accept or be able to create anything. And they're going to tax, which they've been trying to do. They've taxed their people enough out there. People are going to start leaving there left and right. So let's give them a try. Let's sit there. Okay, fine. This is what you want. This is what we'll give you. And pull bases. Pull government controlled parks. Shut down the parks. Okay. Or tell the state government they have to pay the park rangers. It's your park. You pay for the park rangers. We could, without fighting, without changing anything, we can destroy California if they want to be independent. And then if they get up and running as an independent state and they want to become their own country, let them become the country. But then again, all of those votes for the Democrats that are out in California will be lost. And we will set up a border between California and the rest of the country, and the illegal aliens that are trying to get into the rest of the country are going to be caught and sent either back to California or sent back to their home country. California wants illegals. California wants low-wage people coming into their state. Let them. That's what I say, let them. Because that's socialism, people. We don't want smart people. We don't want educated people. We want dumb, stupid people who are going to sit there and do exactly what we tell them to do. That's what Cortez is saying, because she doesn't have a clue of what she's talking about. You think that she's the queen of the Democratic Party? You think she's the future of the Democratic Party? She's going to destroy the Democratic Party. Her and the socialists that are joining it. And all of those individuals who are kneeling to support injustice in this country, why don't you get up off your knees and go out and do something about the injustice? And I don't mean fight. I mean take 10,000 or 20,000, whatever each member of your team can give, and go out and put it into an inner city and help create a better inner city. That would work. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Pastor Bruce. Thank you once again for listening. God bless. Take care, and we'll talk soon.